his attitude. They don't like the things that he says. But there's no doubt that he would take the fight with Usyk. I don't think he's ducking like a lot of these guys say. Um,
I
it's just
honestly, it makes me cringe when I hear fans consistently use the ducking term like it's a real thing within the business of boxing.
right.
Guys, come on. Reality within the business. Ducking is a fan-driven concept that doesn't exist within the business of boxing. Dude, if it financially makes sense for all parties involved, it's going to happen. These guys are fearless and would step in the ring with Godzilla. They're fighters. They're warriors. Do you really think they fear a guy who they've more than likely already competed against in the amateurs or sparred with?
Right. Yeah. That's a hard thing to get into boxing fans' head, man. Really hard. I even try to
brother.
use I
Go
I
ahead,
try to
sir.
use
Go ahead, man.
real life situations to explain it to people, right? Like I drive for a living, right? I'm a commercial driver. I'm my commercial license, so that means that I had to go through hours of training, not just behind the wheel, but training to take multiple tests to get multiple endorsements, to drive these kind of vehicles. By the time you get through with training, like you're a well-oiled machine. You got full control of that vehicle. And that's like me going into work one day, right? And they say, hey, you know what? You've been driving this route. Why don't you take this route today? And I'm like, nah, you know what? Don't want to drive that route. I'm scared, I'm scared to drive that route today. No, they train you to drive in every situation, man. I'm like, go, whatever, let's go. It's it's silly, man. It's what these guys do for a living. They fight for a living. These guys train. And again, anyone has ever spent any time around these fighters know how confident these guys are. They never think they're going to lose a fight, ever. And yeah, it just doesn't exist, man.
Yeah, dude. And look, Adam, I read your last comment. One, that's inappropriate. I'm not going to put it on the board, but guys duck because they don't want to get knocked out. Look, if a fighter genuinely believes he's going to get knocked out, that means he's more than likely going to retire because dude, who goes into a major fight not brimming with confidence, not thinking that you're going to win? When does that ever happen, brother?
Never.
That's fantasy land. That is, no, once again, listen to this. Yes, they do. Chingao, dude. Look. Even guys at the club level that are brought in to be opponents for a big promoter superstars on ESPN, they still do that too. Understanding. Yeah, I'm probably in over my head, but I don't care, man. I love this. I love being flown into Vegas, loves getting a paid vacation at the casino. And yeah, man, I think they're underestimating me. I think they picked on the wrong guy. They genuinely feel no one goes into a fight thinking that he's going to get knocked out. Mm-hmm. That is one of the most ignorant things I've ever heard. Who wants to fight Wilder? Look, if he were worth more money, if he were a bigger ticket seller and attraction, and if he weren't demanding so much, once again, another product of receiving terribly inflated. Now, once again, hold on. If you listen, I'm going to explain the business to you, my friend. Now, once again, before he retired, I said, no, he's not going to come back. If he comes back, he's going to quickly retire once again. Because for those two final fights with Tyson Fury, did you realize how much he made from inflated purses from Fox and ESPN?
Crazy. He made a crazy amount of money.
$45 million in two fights. So do you really think he's going to be okay with fighting Andy Ruiz for $3 million? Going through another grueling camp, getting his ass whooped, and getting that brutal work in during an extensive 6 to 8 week camp. And then facing one of the most explosive heavyweights in the division right now, former champion Andy Ruiz Jr. Do you really think Deontay is going to be okay with that?
No, yeah, it's because they're scared, man. You know,
scared of not being able to pay their bills. That's about it. No. Once
Man.
again, guys, this talk about everyone fears. No, dude. These guys would not be prize fighters if. Now, once again, did you listen to any of G Funky's great, accurate analogy? Because it says it all. So, guys, you're living in fantasy land if you truly believe this nonsense. Hey, did you hear that Deontay Wilder's fighting Paul Bunyan next? That's what you guys sound like. No. Once again, I'm going to repeat this one more time. Listen up, brother. Once again, we appreciate you being here, being a part of the show. And now that we're reading your comments, Adam, you are officially a part of tonight's show. Thank you for that, man. So, once again, here is a very simple lesson of the business of boxing. Paying out, and Don Chargan taught me this, and he was right about everything. One of the greatest, if not the greatest, promoter and matchmaker of all time. Knew everything about the business, and he taught me everything about the business. That's why we have this show called War A Week Radio. It's an homage to my greatest mentor and the guy who taught me everything. He said, Promotions 101, Joseph, paying out inflated purses to prize fighter never ends well for the health of the sport because it makes it virtually impossible to put together the best fights after that.
Yep.
Brother, when's the last time you seen Keith Thurman fight?
I was just gonna say Keith Thurman.
Another product of the PBC inflated purses when they had all that big Waddell and Reed money. Where's he been now? Now, I'll tell you why. Unlike the music and motion picture industry, where you see guys like Bruce Willis, Nicolas Cage, who were huge box office draws, and they were two of the highest paid actors at one time, 20, 30 years ago. Now, they're fine with understanding the market and saying, you know what, my market value just isn't that high. So I'm going to make as many stupid, unwatchable movies as I can just to pay for my mansion, pay for my lifestyle. And actors and musicians are fine with that because they still get to do what they love. But prize fighters, do you really? And once again, the difference between actors, musicians, and prize fighters, actors and musicians, they're not taking punches to the face for less money. It's very difficult to convince a prize fighter after he's gotten tasted the good life and made that long green. It's impossible to convince them to do the same exact thing, put their body through hell for a fraction of what they've become used to making. They will retire instead.
Yep. Yeah.
So I'm going to leave that up there. Once again, Adam, why hasn't he gotten a fight yet then?
That's why.
Does that answer your question?